welcome to this week's webinar. My name's Nathan Batchelor and I'll be your host for today. So before we begin, I'm just going to read through this disclaimer. Beyond Trader LLC is strictly a research publishing firm. Information we publish is based on our opinions, plus our quantitative models, statistical and financial data, and independent research. This service is not registered with any financial regulatory agency, such as the SEC or any other organization or governmental body. By using our platform or our services, you acknowledge that we do not provide personalized recommendation or advice. Alternative asset classes are volatile investments that carry significant risk. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Okay, so on today's agenda, as always, we're going to be looking at an educational topic on a Sunday, and we're going to be building it into the general market, especially focused on Bitcoin and altcoins. We're going to be looking at the Sharpe ratio and the 12-hour Vanguard today for our educational topic. I think both of them are going to be quite relevant for reasons that I'm going to start to discuss in a moment. So without further ado, I'm going to begin this week's webinar. So I don't know if you know much about the Sharpe ratio, but it's commonly used by fund managers and many quants. And the Sharpe ratio, it's basically a widely used measure in quantitative trading that helps assess the risk-adjusted return of an investment strategy or portfolio. The higher the Sharpe ratio is, the better the strategy. A Sharpe ratio higher than 2.0 is considered very good in the cryptocurrency market. So this here is our 12-hour Vanguard, and this is how I'm kind of like building this into this week's webinar. If you can see here, this section marked in black is the Sharpe ratio for the 12-hour Vanguard, and you can see at times the Sharpe ratio has been as high as 3. It currently, if you look at 2024, when we last updated it in June, it's around 2.32. And I think the worst it's been is in 2022. The reason it was so bad in 2022 is because the Vanguard model that we've got works best in bull markets. So the better the bull market, the more that this performs. So so far, 2023 and 2024 have been relatively good for Bitcoin, although we haven't, so far over the last couple of months, it's been frustrating for the 12-hour model, but that's generally what we're building in. And you can see it's got a very high Sharpe ratio, and I tend to like the 12-hour time frame because it seems to be very effective, both in letting you know when to get into the market and when to get out of the market at the same time. This is a look at Vanguard on the 12-hour time frame, and I'll give you a little bit more information about the color codedness in a moment. But in general, I guess you can see that when we start to trend in green and blue, you can see the effectiveness of this on a trending scale. So Vanguard, obviously, I spoke about a moment ago. As you know, it employs a 4-color system. So red being strongly bearish, orange being a bearish inclination, blue for a bullish inclination, and green for strong bullish trends. And you can see here that we're currently in kind of like no man's land. We were starting to trend up very well over the last couple of days and weeks, and then we had the Tether news. We retraced last Sunday. We got a sell signal with the orange, and then again we got a minor sell signal on Friday, and then it kind of stopped. And then again, you can see like the Tether news has had a real effect on Vanguard. So at the moment, this is where Vanguard is sitting. We're looking for the 12-hour time frame, like I say, to turn blue or green, and that will obviously signal that the market is likely to continue higher, and that's really what we're looking for. And obviously building it into the Sharpe ratio, I'll be doing that more in a moment, and you can combine it, I guess, with something like Ethereum if you're looking at perspectives on how to trade this. And you can see the 12-hour time frame. It seems to be very, very effective in terms of when the actual mode of the of the medium term trend. So we could argue very strongly that the medium term trend for Ethereum is bearish, which is really opposed to Bitcoin. So you want to be selling the moves higher, and then when you get the Vanguard sign, red being the strongest, obviously, then it seems to be very, very effective. And likewise, because Vanguard is very much meant for a buy model, you could also trade both sides, but it's definitely less effective in terms of Bitcoin sell mode. But this is just one way that you can apply it to other models. And you can see, obviously, that Vanguard 12-hour works the best when we've got a really defined trend and we've got lots of data to show that. I guess the beauty is with the 12-hour and the Sharpe ratio is that you just need a 50% win rate in a system, which this has. And again, if you can control the risk and make it work, then you can ultimately be profit at the end of the day. You can be profitable at the end of the day. And I think this is where many new traders fall down, is that if they looked at something that had a 50% win ratio, they would discard it and they would be looking for something with a 70, 80% win ratio and just take those trades. But in fact, if you manage the risk and the returns are higher than the drawdown, then you can still have a very fantastic system. And that's one of the reasons why we particularly like Vanguard. And obviously the weekly is completely the daddy at the moment, but that just hasn't come into play for now. So that's why I'm kind of leaving it. And the addition of Beyond Atlas only enhances the trade confirmation and conviction levels through any type of time frame or sell signals or buy signals and vice versa. Okay, so hope you like that little kind of move towards our quant models recently, me explaining them and building in a little bit more information about how we can use them and how it's relevant to the current market. Moving on to altcoins, and I'm going to focus on a couple of cross pairs, Ethereum and Solana today, and a little bit of the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin. So very frustratingly, last Sunday we got a false breakout above this kind of uh, this price kind of channel that we've been trapped in. This it looks like a wedge at the moment, actually. So we got a false breakout on the daily time frame, and we've subsequently had the reversal to basically the middle of the wedge, and now we are starting to recover. I think at the time of recording, we're around 2,500. So ideally, we want to move back to this area where we had the false breakout, hold above there, and that will be the sign that the market is going to start to head higher again. Obviously, on the lower time frames, the breakout area to me very much looks like 2,560, 570. That's the area that I'll be looking to later today or early next week for very strong breakout towards around 2,700. I feel that for Ethereum, once we can truly start to hold above 2,700, then we have a very good chance of getting a breakout and a very powerful one at that. And this could all be, I guess, very much interlinked with the election day. I do hope we're trading above 2.7 and quite far away from that on election day. I think that would probably be the strongest chance that we've got at the moment. The Vanguard, like I say, the 3-day for Ethereum is really the only positive sign that we've got here, but I'll monitor that as we go on. And at the moment, it doesn't look too great for Ethereum. And like we say, I think we need much more confirmation for Ethereum. And one of the big problems with Ethereum is Ethereum Bitcoin and Ethereum Sol at the moment. It's getting pretty much crushed against Bitcoin, but there is some good news in that we're probably moving towards the last stages of that, which is why I'm looking for a turnaround in Ethereum. I think we could start to bottom out in the crosspair soon, and then we move back towards top of the channel. So I do think that Ethereum will soon update, and it does seem to me that we're definitely approaching a bottom in this pair, which could be very good for Ethereum. If we have a look at Solana, playing out as I expected, although the tether news was very frustrating, I expect that we're going to go towards 180, 190, and 200 over the next couple of days. And then once we break out of this channel, I think it's really going to start to flex its muscles towards probably something like 250, and then probably much higher after that. So exciting times for Solana. I like the way that on the decline, it broke out of this recent series of consolidation, and it just basically tested the 160 zone. It gave that a test, and then it shot back up immediately, which is a very positive sign. And I'm definitely looking forward to some more upside. And if you have a look at Vanguard, it's completely different to Ethereum. The weekly is even positive, and all the other time frames. The only thing we've got is the 12-hour, which is very interesting. So watch for the 12-hour to change, either blue or green, and then we've got a whole host of buy signals then for Solano. And again, it's another reason why it's setting up for a very exciting week, I think, next week. And again, we've got the cup and handle pattern, which is well and truly broke out. And I think this is, like pointing towards parabolic gains, and it certainly looks like Solana is going to start to outstrip even Bitcoin in terms of upside soon, from what I'm seeing here. If you have a look at the crypto total market cap, it's a very simple chart. We're actually pretty far away from the breakout zone, so we need to see Ethereum starting to move soon in order to really cement this. So once Ethereum starts moving and we move above the blue line, I think it's a pretty obvious cruise towards 1.255 trillion. And then once we get above the green line, I think we're going to start to challenge towards the top orange line. So it does kind of hint that we're going to see explosive moves in altcoins if we start to pick the path that I think that we're going to. So have a look for a breakout above 1 trillion. That's really the psychological marker, and also the technical breakout area there in blue. And we really need Ethereum to start participating in order to get this breakout going. I do have some questions. Can I see a scenario with Bitcoin going up significantly with ETH lagging? I guess I've kind of answered that, but I think there is a time for everything, and I guess we could start to see, based on the charts that I'm seeing, I think a bit more upside in Bitcoin and then Ethereum, and they're kind of moving along nicely together. Solano, I guess, Radium and Jupiter. I'd like to have a look at them next week on the charts. So you might need to remind me about that. I will make a note afterwards as well. But yeah, I'll definitely I'll be having a look at those next week, and hopefully we'll be talking about a totally different market and one that is also starting to break out. Okay, so that's about it for this week. Thank you very much for joining, and hope to see you again on Thursday. Thank you very much.